Beware of wolves in this wholesaling market. I'm going to talk to you about how to successfully wholesale a deal. But before I do that, if you've not subscribed to my channel, I don't know what you're waiting for, click the link below, click the notification link, and I'll see you in the video. I've had 3 properties that I've wholesaled, and all 3 of them I had problems with. The first one was in Austin, Texas. I took the property, I put it in what's called a land trust, and then I had the rights to the trust, and I sold that to an end buyer. But the first guy that wanted to buy it was going to wire me some funds. He didn't wire them into me, and he kept on postponing in a day, and then I found a new buyer, one who just was really trusted and gave me a check. The second one I had was a property in Southern California, and in this property it had really good numbers, and everyone was trying to talk into lower, and I stood my ground, and no one was coming through, and there was a good markup on this property, and I got so frustrated because people kept on saying one guy was going to fund it and it looked like he knew what he was doing. He didn't. I was fairly new at this, and I was just about to lose the deal. I got so frustrated I actually ended up funding the deal myself. I was able to tap into resources. This was shortly after bankruptcy, where I had no credit at all, but I was still able to get the loan and be able to flip the property with this, and there's a whole story to that. The third property I had that I was wholesaling was a property in Riverside, and by now I wasn't wholesaling anymore, except I had a couple properties under contract, and this was like the 4th one that came to me, and I couldn't do it with what I had. I kind of wish I had, because the guy who bought this did really good. But same thing, the guy was gonna give me a check. It was on the MLS, it was a really good deal, and I had 7 days left in my due diligence. It was a really short due diligence, motivated seller, really good deal. I went ahead and had the guy, he was gonna give me the check on Thursday. Thursday came and went, and I didn't have the check, and then it was gonna be Friday, and then he said the bank was closed for the weekend. He'd have it to me on Monday. Well, I had 3 days, 72 hours left before I was gonna lose this wholesale deal for good. So what I ended up doing was advertising to other buyers. I got a buyer who came in, not as high as this guy was, so I didn't go with him yet, but he just said, I'll give you 5,000 versus 10. I was getting 10,000 from this first guy. So Monday hits, and we're on the phone, and he gives me an excuse why he has to be there Tuesday. And I said, you know, it was going to be Thursday, Friday, it was going to be the weekend. Now it's going to be tomorrow. I said, I think I'm going to go with somebody else. Well, the guy now knows that I have 2 days left, and he laughed. He said, yeah, good luck finding somebody else. And I said, oh, that's fine. I said, I already have someone else in mind. Good luck to you. I'll see you. At this point, the guy was going to get me the check immediately. Like, I've got to get you the check. I got to get you the check. I said, okay, I'll give you until Tuesday, 1 p.m. I was teaching. I said, come into my classroom at lunchtime. You could just gave him the directions where I was teaching. I said, come in, hand me the check. That'll be fine. This back when I was a high school math teacher. 1 o'clock came and went. He never got me the check. So I went ahead and I went with my backup buyer. He then, like at 2:30, 3 o'clock, he sends a picture of a cashier's check, shows it to me, says he's going to have it to me later on. I called him and I just said, hey, I want to let you know I just signed. I just got a $5,000 check. You didn't show up at 1. And the guy's like, F you. You told me you were going to give me X amount of time. You told me you were going to do this. What the guy was going to do is he was going to run me down on time. He didn't really have a cashier's check, or he would have done something different. He was going to run me down on time. He was going to wait until I was in a vulnerable position where I would have had to go with him in his terms, or, you know, he was basically doing this to get leverage, and I wasn't going to let him have that. So let's talk about this. Like, you've heard the nightmare stories. How do you successfully wholesale? Number one is you want to get involved in a couple real estate groups. And this is a gold nugget. Get to know the leaders, get to know people of the group, get to know people that are actively flipping properties, and keep in mind that people are going to lowball you. They always do. However, if you get a hot deal, and I see this all the time, you will have a buyer for it. When you get the deal, advertise it to multiple people, not just 1 or 2 people, but advertise it to the group leader, emails you got in the group, business cards, put it up on a Facebook real estate group, put it on your LinkedIn connections, put this deal all over the place and let people know. When people come to you, it's your terms and not theirs. My dream wholesale flips are when I meet somebody at their bank, we notarize a document assigning them the contract, and then we go ahead and I get the cashier's check from the bank, and I know it's good right there, and it's in my name or my corporation's name. So it would be 10,000 to JD Vista. That is your ideal wholesale, because you know the check's good. You've now notarized the document. They now have it. They're now responsible for closing. You've been paid, and that's great. Now, some buyers might come up and they might say, okay, what if it doesn't close? What if there's a title hiccup at the last minute? What if? That can happen, and you can have problems with that. So can you get a partial deposit? Can you get like a $2,000 deposit and sign something? I mean, there's ways to go around that, and you need to make sure you do that within your due diligence. If it doesn't close, you're gonna be on the hook for that. And that might be one resistance that you get that you're gonna have to from your buyer that you're gonna have to deal with. Okay, so that's your ideal wholesale situation. You also want to act like you're in charge. You know what you're doing. So if someone calls and they say, "This is what I do. This is how I wholesale. This is what I'm willing to do." Well, it's your property. You got it under contract, and you call the shots. It's like, so you say, "Well, I'm going with X, Y, Z. I'm meeting the person here. I'm doing this." You're more than welcome welcome to do this. It's a first come, first served basis. I'm advertising this all over. Again, you have that in charge mentality. And when you have that many buyers, that many people lined up, and then you're gonna get calls. Like I have wholesaled a few properties since. Again, when I get multiple flips and I can't handle them all, I do wholesale. And the last one I had a guideline. I wholesaled it to a guy that I knew very successfully. And I had a guy saying, hey, can I come and hire? And I'm like, you know what, you missed the boat. But if he doesn't close for some reason, which I knew this guy would close, I said, you will be my next in line. So you got to call the shots, not let people lowball you. Really get out there and make yourself known and get the property. At the same time, be ready for people to try to lowball you with comps. It's going to happen. People are going to try to lowball you with everything. If you have a good deal, the market will speak. And what I mean by that is if you advertise it, you're going to have a flock of people come to you. You're going to have them want to buy, and you're going to have to call the shots on that. Hey, I hope this helped, and let me know what you think on this video. Comment below. Do me a favor, if you're not subscribed, go and click the link below. Click the notification link, and I'll see you on the next video. Thank you.